All right, folks. Today I am sitting with Mr. Dean Aguilar. Dean runs a great business in San Diego, California. The Dean Aguilar Group recently merged with Big Block, so go Big Block.
Yeah, family.
Yes, and he also has Digital Muse Media, which is an Instagram company, and they're killing it right now. And I want people to be able to find you there, but not what we're going to focus on talking about today. But
No worries.
go ahead and tell people where to find you right off the bat so we can get that taken care of.
If you guys go to Instagram and you can search Real Dean Aguilar. Shoot me a DM. Any questions you may have, love to chat.
Yeah, so Dean is doing huge, massive things with Instagram, both in the space period, not just segmented to real estate. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So check him out there. But to get right into it, Dean in San Diego, what are you seeing out there on the real estate streets?
Yeah, what's interesting is, there's been a lot of people who are still interested in getting out there. I thought, for at least in San Diego, I'll give you an example. We've had multiple listings go live in the last week or so, priced accurately. And I don't know if it's just people are bottled up, man, of just staying at home, but you're like, we don't want the virtual shit. I want to go to the house. And I'm like, the agent's like, yeah, well, let's go, right? Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're happy to get out of the house. So like, honey, I'll leave. I'll be back in 6 hours. If you're only showing one house, yeah, I'll be back in 6 hours. Like, you're just getting out and showing as much as you can. Sure. But, dude, what's awesome is, so as an example, we had one house that listed 2 days ago. We have 11 offers.
Good for you.
I mean, and it's happening quite a bit. So obviously, the government-backed loans are helping. So again, what's interesting is a lot of the ones that are submitting. So out of the 11, 7 of the 11 were VA offers. So it's interesting to see that. So the FHA and VA loans, those are still, pretty hot, and the rates are really good. So they're out there right now. And I almost feel like the military are kind of immune to fear. You know what I mean? Like, you understand what I'm saying? And like, so they haven't stopped at all. And we have, obviously being in San Diego, we have a large military clientele. For us doing almost 300 homes a year, a significant amount of them are from VA. And so that's what we're experiencing right now is they're not afraid to get out there, and we are receiving multiple offers on our listings.
Great, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I wish that for everyone. I hope. I don't know what the case is in the other states, but
so I put about one listing on every day, and in the last 2 weeks, that's about 13, 14 listings. I've had one with 9 offers.
Wow. Yeah.
None VA or FHA, all conventional.
All conventional, okay.
All conventional.
Wow,
right, because here in Sacramento, I mean, we don't have nearly, it's a fraction of as much military presence here.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your agents. Oops, I muted myself. What kind of activities are your agents doing every day right now?
Okay, so obviously owning a media agency, right? We are super, super, super heavy on social. Every single one of them. We have a game plan. It's interesting. I think I saw you, dude, do something that Sharon and I were talking about with the recording of the video. Yeah, dude. So home run, killer. If anybody hasn't seen, where do you have it posted?
Facebook and Insta, yeah.
Dude, everybody go take a look at this. I know as simple as it looks, that type of stuff, like, you need to be doing that, because right now there is a 37% increase in viewership on social, which is the most increase in the history of social media. Okay? So literally they're saying to you, just put out anything and they're going to watch your shit.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what we're doing is we are constantly, I have a husband and wife couple that are on my team, right? And they're characters. Like, they have this little, bantering back and forth and this, that, and the other. It's awesome to watch. So they are doing in their community like almost like a carpool, it's almost like carpool karaoke, but they're going through the neighborhood on how empty it is, and they're going to the different businesses and they're showcasing it with no one in the streets, and they're doing it twice a week, and they're getting amazing like views because people have nothing better to do, and they're like, oh my God, what happened to blah 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 street where it's like normally packed? You know what I'm saying? It's that type of stuff. So it's current, it's in the now, right? People can relate to it, but they're also tying it into real estate.
Awesome. So what for your agents, what kind of strategy do you encourage them to do with social posting now, especially during lockdown?
So I like a sequence of certain things. So like, I think that with agents, and I'm sure you can relate to this, right? And anybody watching, listening, they can relate to this. When you see a real estate agent, and all of us probably have 100, 200, 300, agents on our feeds, it all looks the same, right? Which is like spam city, coming soon, just listed. Look at me, I sold X, this, that, and the other. It's the same shit, right? So what I tell them is, dude, I gotta know, like, and trust you. Right now, everyone is either fearful, they don't know what's happening. There's a lot of anxiety. They're happy, they're sad. It's like this, that, and the other. They need to connect on a human level. They need to know about Suneet. I need to know that your kid's fucking crying in the background to know, like, and trust you, because you're human. It isn't like you're talking about spam city of like, look at my listing. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm encouraging to do is kind of a sequence of events, which is show a little personal side to you, break up your feed a little bit, show a little personal side, how you're relating to COVID and how you're just like them. And then follow it by, right? Because you're going to get massive engagement from that. Follow it by something that's real estate related, whether it's instructional or a unique spin to showing them an open house, going through the house, telling a story. I'm big on stories. So the strategy is always going to be, I don't ever want someone to highlight a listing or an open house by saying, look at the kitchen, look at this, look at that. I rather go and say, hey, I got to tell you a quick story about Suneet. Suneet's the owner of this house. When Suneet bought this house, he was single, never thought in a million years he would raise his kids. 32 years later, right? He now has X, Y, and Z. His kids down the street, like, so what I'm doing now is creating an entire story about what I'm about to go show them. It is a much different approach that people do not get because they just want to do spam, right? So that is exactly how we produce content for our social media strategy.
Dude, that's great. That's
Thank you.
I mean,
it seems to be working,
yeah.
It's just a different approach, dude. Like it's just, I think it's, what's funny is somewhere down the line, a few coaches got together and said, we're going to say the same shit to like 10,000 people. And we want all of you to take a phone, walk through, and then post it. And like, that's all people do, right? And you just lose so much human interaction and like connectivity with someone when you don't approach it with stories and experiences. And they got to like you. They got to know, like, and trust you to work with you.
Dude, great. Like, I'm just, right. And I love having these conversations with people like yourself because it makes me think too. I'm like, so what am I doing in my own posts? And I think it's great that you and Sharon saw those little posts, and I was talking to him about it last night. And
yeah, it was great. I loved it. I definitely love it.
So what about, like, because you guys do a lot of leads too, right?
We do. Zillow, we're blessed to be in the program with you. Zillow offers here in San Diego. We have, obviously we're boatload of leads when they come out of that program. Been Zillow partners for years and years. So we have, quite a significant amount of buyer leads that come through there. A little bit of realtor.com leads. We do Facebook and Google leads. When I started, so interesting story. So I've been licensed since 2001. Okay. So 19 years. I started in DC. I'm from DC, Virginia area. Lost my ass in 2008, right? Completely, like everything, bro. Like it was terrible.
Yep.
So I decided with my wife, and we're like, okay, we're going to the beach. So we're going to get out of the East Coast. And that's what we did. We came to California. But what I did was, the way that I leveraged this was, I knew that I just needed to get in front of somebody, right? So all I did with no money was do open houses. So all I did was do open houses, open houses, open houses. So that's why, like, if you look at our like lead flow and closed escrows, I can train someone around an open house and an online lead like no tomorrow, right?
Sure.
Because those are my strengths. And so when I got money from these closings, I immediately, and we're talking, I think this is like a 9-year relationship with Zillow at this point. I was getting leads for, I was getting zip codes for $250 a month. And I closed for $250 a month spend. I closed 7 deals off of 250. And this was as a solo agent like 8 years ago, right? Which is a lot. You know what I mean? Because like imagine the ROI. I spent $2,400 and I don't even know. I think I made $60K. Like what kind of ROI is that? So I immediately took my money and invested into Zips, and I just kept buying. And that's how I snowballed. And now I have obviously a large influx of leads that come in that I could feed the team and also coach them around how to have conversations that don't sound like a old script. You know what I mean?
Dude, I think that's so crazy that you said that. I became a realtor in 2014. So I've been licensed for 6 years. I was in mortgage previously, and then after that, I had a whole nother story, which is a whole other thing. So when I became a full-time realtor in 2014, after I shut down my previous business, I had no money. I just had everything taken, and I lost my butt in 2008 in the mortgage game, and then in 2012 I lost my butt again, even harder. Right, I just built back. I sat around for 2 years, not wanting to get into real estate. Got back in 2014. I had $400.
Yeah,
and it was my first week as a licensed realtor, and I bought the cheapest zip code on Zillow in the hood for $200.
Oh my God. The hood, because they didn't have any zips left.
Yeah, they didn't have any zips.
I don't want to call out the area, but I'm like, holy, that's it? I'm like, fuck it. Let me just take it. You know what I mean? I'll take it. Whatever. I'll work it.
Yep. So same story is I leveraged that into more zips, better zips, and I still have many of the same zips now, right? So super grateful for those guys over there because they
oh my God.
saved my ass right off $200.
I tell them all the time, you made my business. That's why you have me as a loyal partner for life.
Yeah, dude, totally.
And they paid it back. They paid it back to us.
Oh yeah, absolutely. What are you seeing with your leads right now? Have they dropped off? Is the flow still there? Is it different conversations?
They're different conversations for sure. They're still, I think a lot of people are still confused on like the processes. So obviously we know that like appraisal process, and we're like doing appraisals outside now, like exteriors, and there's a lot of different things that have changed that I don't know necessarily that people understand. Yeah. Even down to the showings. Cause like I said before, sometimes when they call and they want to go see, we've had quite a bit of people not understanding why we can't, or why we have to do X, Y, and Z. Because when we put these things in a listing, if a seller says, I need them to wear booties, gloves, they need to use Lysol, like literally this is what's happening, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that. So it's just about educating. I mean, it's simple stuff, but it's about educating them because they're a lot of them are still thinking pre-COVID,
Yeah, totally.
So we're still having those conversations. We're having a lot of conversations on, I heard it's going to tank, coming out of this. Right now, we've had people that don't realize that we are still receiving multiple offers because their interest rates are dirt ass cheap, right? And buyers, the educated buyers understand, but we have a good portion of people who still want to lowball because they think that sellers are desperate, because if you need to sell now and you can't really show it, you must need the money. So therefore I'm going to offer. And then the conversations are like, you have 11 other people that want the same fucking house.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong market. And I don't know. I know what your logic is and I know what you're thinking, but that's actually not the reality. Right. And so it's been a lot of education of what's happening now. Could that change a little bit? Sure. Could it become a little more stale? Yes. Is it happening right in my market right now? No. But some people think that, and that's the conversations we're having.
Yeah, I mean, San Diego is considered one of the best markets in the country, right? Or probably
Yeah,
in the world, right?
yeah, yeah. A lot of secondary. It very rarely fluctuates that much, man. Obviously, except for 2008.
It
We have
wasn't like massive in 2008 either. Like someone like
and here
Stockton,
in San Diego, I don't
Vegas.
know. I got killed in Virginia. I don't know about say at that time I wasn't here, but I know I got destroyed and I was in Northern Virginia. So like actually Kerry Shoals area.
Oh,
Kerry and
cool.
I yeah, so I was in Kerry's area. Um, but yeah, I mean it's always been a pretty good strong market, man. But that's kind of what we're facing. The lead flow is down a little bit, for sure. So we've kind of shuffled around some of the options that we have as far as leads and just upped them in different areas. Obviously, Zillow is an expensive lead flow, so we've upped it in certain other areas that we know still come in. Believe it or not, we get good Op City leads.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, we're still closing deals on Op City, which is pretty good.
I don't
Um,
track them at all.
no, yeah, we got a significant amount. Right now, we have 6 in escrow from Op City. Uh,
Really?
yeah, and we got a list
Good
buy.
track it.
Yeah, we got a list buy the other day from Op City. So, look, people are still shopping. That's for sure. I think that if anybody is, I think here's a knee jerk reaction that most people do. Right? They curl up into a ball, figure out what they're going to do. The smart people cut, but I think that a lot of times people cut the wrong things. Marketing and lead flow may not be the wisest decision to completely cut yourself off.
Oh, yeah.
You, you know what I'm saying? And I get it, but you really have to during these times. I think people just have to reevaluate their P&Ls and dive in.
Totally. So, I mean, I haven't touched any of the incoming leads. Um, I cut out some of the bullshit stuff that we never use and just saw like
Yeah,
on,
a lot of software.
yes. But
You know what's funny, and I know you can appreciate this. You go through this and go, "Holy fuck! I didn't even know I have all these
I
services." Like,
know.
it's like it ends up being like $1,500 later. You're like, "What? Do we use this? I don't even know we're using this." You know?
Yeah, and we were talking offline too, like even personal. Like I got a Stitch Fix box every month. Cut that right out, right? Like I'm not getting dressed up. I wear a T-shirt every day now.
Yeah.
Stitch Fix and cable. I cut the cord. I've been talking about it for 3-4 years, dude. Saving myself $150 a month on TV.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It is. You can stream anything you want now these days. You know what I mean?
But I did buy a car the first day of lockdown.
Oh, did you? Did you at least get a good interest rate or whatever? Because they were dropping shit left and right.
Yeah.
The dealerships were like, we're gonna die here, so let me go ahead and give it to you free.
I was standing in the dealership, not touching anything because I was worried. It was the first day.
The first day. Everybody's freaked out.
Yeah.
I get that now. You know what's interesting, and I'm sure everybody appreciated it. Even getting back to normal, like doing open houses and everything. I tell my team all the time, and they know, dude. We've talked quite a few times. We have never met face to face, right? But I'm one of those dudes that like instead of a handshake, I'll just come up and just give you a hug. You know what I mean? I'm a hugger. So I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? I literally hug everyone. They're gonna look at me like I'm gonna get the hand to the face. Like I'm like, oh my god, I gotta change my whole thing up.
Dude, Kevin and I were talking, and he's like, man, I can't wait till, gives people hugs and handshakes. I was like, look, don't fucking touch me, dog. Like,
it's going to be.
Yes, do not touch me.
Yeah, it's going to be weird for a minute. It's going to be weird for a minute. But look, translating into real estate, I think you have to be aware of and what I noticed, if you guys, I mean, I'm sure everyone can relate to this. You can see the polarizing, way it's affecting people. There are some who simply just don't give a shit. They're like, I don't care, whatever, And there's some that are I'm buying a gun because I feel like martial law and everybody, you know what I mean? Like, right. That's fine. But I think as agents, you have to understand when you're dealing with consumers, they all react differently to the things that you say and what they want. So you can't put them into a bubble of a script because it certainly is not going to work coming out of this.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to like John, like Shep says, you have to meet them where they're at.
Where they're at. Yeah, I didn't even know that, but that's dead on. You gotta, that what he says is accurate. That is, you have to meet them where they're at because whatever you feel is not that's not how they feel necessarily. So
yeah. So, what's your advice for me as a brokerage owner and team leader right now?
It just right now it's very tough because, you know, obviously we're all on Zooms and being virtual, but you know, like I think we talked about this offline, man. If anything, continued. Here's how I explain it, right? One would say that no one knew me in San Diego, or even Lab Coach, Real Closers. We've been able to build a brand, but the way it works, and even in the media, is whoever screams the loudest becomes the popular one. Okay, that's it. And so, since we know that social media is free, since we know that everyone consumes on video, whatever it is that even shooting my team consistently on a Zoom, like these are things I'm putting myself out there constantly. Like we're all consuming media stuff where they say it so much that we believe it's true, even though we find out it's a fucking lie, right? But it's hammered into our brain because that's what we remember. There is no better time than now when you have all eyes on social media that you should be not doing anything related to what you do for a living consistently on those platforms. And it doesn't even matter which one, pick one. Everybody's scrolling through all of them. Dude, I've watched more TikToks than I thought I would ever watch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm like, for hours, I'm like, holy fuck, I've seen like 300 videos. I'm just saying, it's there. The attention's there.
And it's free. It's free.
It's free. It's free. There's a lot of people right now that are feeling very sorry for themselves. They don't know what to do. And as I said before, whoever screams the loudest will win.
Yeah, dude, that's like part of my whole strategy right now. Like my wife said to me the other night, she's like, man, you've been posting a lot. I said, why not? Everyone's looking at their phone.
They are. That's all they're doing. You know what I mean? So I agree. There's no real advice. You know that. You're actually executing high level, dude. I mean, there's a reason why leaders, and for all of you, you guys know coming out of 2008, right, there's certain people that thrived, who ended up building big teams, right, because there was some consistent behaviors. There's a reason why myself, Sharon, you, Tristan, Sam, all these people are constantly on Zoom giving as much value, which translates to agents. You could do that for your clients, for your audience, for your speakers,
totally.
right? It's the same shit. There's a reason why we're doing it. Number one, we love giving value and dropping knowledge. That's number one. But number two, the consistency of us being online when we come out of this, who do you think people are going to look to leadership in this business?
Yep, exactly.
That's it. That's being completely transparent with everybody on this call. Seriously. Because we know what it takes to take it and leverage into brand.
You got to be omnipresent. Look at Grant Cardone, dude. Like, it's nonstop. He's the perfect example of who to be like, right?
I got to go figure out. I gotta go figure out what was going on with him. He was like trolling people, right? Like saying he was like bankrupt.
It's getting weird. Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing there, but he blew up the internet with that shit. I can tell you that. But hey, look, it's still strategy.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's all, right now it's hard for me to get any media because everyone is Dr. Fauci or Trump or COVID or this. So I made up some shit about going bankrupt and I blew it up.
Killed it. Yeah.
So last question, kind of fun one. What's the first place you're going to once the lockdown's lifted, bro?
Man, that's a good question. The gym.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm a health fanatic. I'm a gym rat. You know, me and Chet have probably something in common, except for he looks way better than I do. You know,
I've been working out every day. My gym is right here.
There you go. I love it. I got the same setup. Yeah, I got the same setup. But no, I mean, it's just a part of my nature. I mean, we can go into this another time, but I got so many health issues, dude. I'm held together by rods everywhere.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I'm 3-fused disc in my neck. I've got a replaced shoulder, replaced hip. These are all genetic defects, right, that are from parents. And I have one lung. So ever since I was a small child, I had always been taking care of myself in fitness and sports and all this stuff because, to be honest with you, if I didn't, my longevity is not the same as other people. You know what I mean? It just isn't. So
well, at least you take it seriously.
I do.
You're actually doing something because many people don't, right?
Yeah, it bothers me. So honestly, I'm super excited. That's the one place I can't wait to get back. It's just crazy, but that's what it is.
Well, good, man. I think that you brought the heat today. I know our viewers are going to get a ton out of this. We'll email it out, blast it on social. And yeah, man, thanks for being on, brother.
Man, dude, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys.
All right.